Okay, welcome to today's episode of Constitutional Digest. Today we'll be discussing the failures of communism. Communism is a political and economic ideology that seeks to establish a classless society by eliminating private property and establishing state control over all of our aspects of life. While it may sound good in theory, history has shown that it has consequences when implemented in practice. One of the primary failures of communism is its disregard for individual rights and freedoms. When the state controls life, there is no room for personal expression, creativity, and innovation. The government dictates what can and cannot be done. Communism is basically characterized by rampant corruption and failure. When the government controls all of our industries, there's no reason for workers to go out and work because they're being awarded work with nothing basically. Like just handed. It's like here you go, here you go. You you work for the government, you get nothing basically. They have human rights abuses. Like communist regimes have a long history of suppressing dissenting voices and using violence to crush them down. You have the Soviet Union purges by Stalin, Mao's cultural revolution in China, are literally the examples of prime failure of communism. You like a prime example of communism's failure is the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. The economy was bad. The government was unable to provide for the people. So the corruption was this high that the economy was this low. The state was bad. So the state was bankrupt. It failed. It ended. Communism is a failed ideology that has caused suffering to Americans. To Americans, well, not Americans, to the people of the countries that it's used in. It has a blind disregard for individual rights and freedoms, and it has corruption, and it leads to social and economic collapse. So, as Americans, we must stand against communism and make sure it doesn't spread to the United States, or we'll be just like them. Let's continue to promote values of democracy, freedom, and human rights. Thank you all for tuning into this episode of the podcast, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.